Hey yo everybody, and welcome to the tour of my new Crepuscular animal house. To describe this project best, it's basically a spoof off of your classic zoo nocturnal houses, but instead this time it's Crepuscular, obviously because of the new Twilight pack, and also because of the new pack it's got a bit of a spooky twist to it, so basically it's a spooky, spoofy nocturnal house you could say. So we're going to go ahead and do a tour of it, we'll walk through the buildings, we'll check out the animals and talk about it, so let's not waste any time and get right on into it. And here we are at the start of the project, the start of the Crepuscular Animal House. Now, yes, it is daytime, and I will switch it to Twilight before we actually go into the building, but I want to go ahead and take a look at it from the outside, daylight, so that you guys can just see the exterior. And yeah, I gotta say, I'm actually like pretty happy with the overall look of it. I like how I managed to capture a very modern, spooky look. Like it's clearly there's like some Halloween inspiration in this, even if it's not like really up in your face, but you can definitely get vibes, Halloween vibes. But it still looks very modern. This isn't like some, like really old-timey looking animal house or anything. It looks pretty clean and modern. That's why I like that. I really like that kind of architecture. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Now, the thing is, I did not create this out of thin air. There is inspiration behind this project, and that is the San Antonio Zoo's Discovery Place. It's basically like a children's zone, but I saw this concept art like a month ago, and I was like, okay, that looks cool. I want to do something with that, but I decided to wait for the project, or sorry, for the next pack to come out, and so I did, and one thing led to another. Now I have a Crepuscular Animal House based on a children's place. But yeah, really cool concept art, and I love the overall shape of the building, and I wanted to do something with that, so really glad I did. Now as we come in closer here to the front entrance, I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else towards the end, because this is a big loop. You go into the building, you come out the backside, you come through the glass building here, and you're back out front. So we'll look at everything else on the outside again later, but for now, just at the front entrance, we have what is definitely the most eye-catching part of it. Now it's funny because the colors here are quite striking, but they were even more striking before. Before I actually finished this project, I took a picture of what this originally looked like, and well, this is it, and posted it online to get some feedback, and yeah, people really liked it. It's quite colorful. It was quite colorful. Now that wasn't gonna be the original colors. That was just so that I could tell the lines apart. All these like wavy lines going on through the front here, which looks pretty cool if you ask me. Originally, they were all very different colors to help tell them apart while I was building them. But, it ended up looking like a big rainbow building, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, those were never going to be the original colors. What we have here is definitely something much more crepuscular color themed, I guess you could say. It goes from, like, really dark red all the way up to more bright red. I like it. I actually think it looks really cool. But feel free to let me know what you guys think of the colors. Maybe it should have been something different. Maybe blues would have been better, like dark blue all the way to light blue, or maybe just orange, or who knows. I mean, there's different ways you could have gone about the colors here, but I'm really happy with it. And then everything else, the signs and the details, the wombat sign, the skunk sign, raccoon, and of course the actual sign itself for the building is really simple, and that's okay. I'm honestly really happy with how just simple and straightforward this whole project is. This is not a complex project. It's really just supposed to be a fun build, and that's what I've got. That's what I've got here. I'm really happy with that. Now before we go in, we do have a little bit of exterior to look at here, some basic plants, but I gotta say, the leaf litter from the new pack is just, oh, it's perfect. It really is perfect. I love it. It's just a shame it's not flexi-color, but overall, the colors and everything, it really just complements the whole outside area. And you will see more of it on the inside and in the back, and it's pretty much all over this project. But yeah, the leaf litter, top-notch material in this new pack. But yeah, now before we go in, we gotta switch it to Twilight, so let's go ahead and do that now. And there you go, now it's Twilight. And oh, it looks even better at, well, I want to keep saying night, but no, just to be clear, it's Twilight. And it looks pretty cool. Like, come on. I like all the colors and stuff. I did put some lights out, as you can see. It just helps brighten it up a little bit. It's like just enough. It's supposed to be dusk and dawn. Faint light in the distance, and that's kind of what you got here. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But no, I think it's time to go ahead and get actually into the building now, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so first thing you're going to notice is it's kind of, well, I mean, obviously I used the materials from the new pack. I want to keep saying it's dungeonous looking. This new mason wall work set just reminds me of castles and dungeons. That's basically what the theme is in here. Again, it's really simple, but it's cool. It's just cool. And the ceiling's interesting looking. It's supposed to look kind of technical, like there's like a special lighting system. It's not really the main focus. The main focus is, of course, the animals themselves and their new exhibits. So every exhibit in this building, actually in the whole project, has a specific theme to it. Like there's like some inspiration, or sorry, some idea behind every exhibit. With this one, this is the wombat exhibit. I don't know where the wombat is. Yeah, I don't know where the wombat is, but hopefully you're getting some cinematics of it just so you can see the wombat and the rest of the exhibit. But yeah, basically what we've got here is the Australian outback at sunset. That's basically the theme, you know, pretty self-explanatory. It's what you'd expect with a new Australian animal in the game. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. I really do like the overall look of it. It's definitely the most different exhibit out of the whole project because it's just more of like a desert. Everything else in here is more, well, foresty. But this one is kind of special. It's special to me because I really do like Australia's landscape. But yeah, it's a shame the wombat's not out. But then again, that's very fitting for well, basically a nocturnal house, crepuscular house, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty fitting for animal houses. Animals don't usually show up. But yeah, some basic signs. Oh, I don't know why that right there is supposed to show the wombat burrow, but oh well. We'll see more burrows over there in the other part of the building. But yeah, that is my new wombat exhibit. So we turn this way, and we're on to the raccoons. So we've gone from the Australian outback at sunset to what's basically supposed to be a spooky forest. Like, to me, that's just what this is. It's a spooky forest. Looks cool. Well, spooky forest at sunset, just to be clear. Everything's going to be at sunset in this whole building. But yeah, it's oh, I love it. It's so saturated, but it just fits the whole crepuscular theme perfectly. Of course, there's raccoons in here, but oh, there you go. I was going to say I don't see one, but did find one. Oh, cheeky little bastards. Yeah, raccoons. You gotta love them. But yeah, it's a pretty basic exhibit. All the exhibits in here are basic, but I kind of like that because that to me just reminds me of actual nocturnal houses. Like, if you've ever been to a nocturnal house in a zoo, they just are very old-timey fashioned, simple exhibits with basic lighting. It's like just supposed to give you a basic vibe that you're at nighttime, or in this case, at dawn or dusk. And you know, it's enough for me, and I think I did a pretty good job recreating that simple feel. It looks nice. I like the mixture of materials, and again, more of that leaf litter. It really does fit. And the backdrops, oh man, the backdrops are so cool. Very fitting. But yeah, what we have here is the spooky raccoon forest at sunset, you could say. So, yeah. And let's move on to our next exhibit and the last one for the actual building itself. The main building. We do have another building after this, but now what we have here is a little bit more specific. What we have is basically, well, you have to just work with me here, but just imagine that we are at the edge of a forest and looking at a castle, just like straight up a castle in the middle of a forest, and this is on the outside of the walls, and right outside the walls we have skunks scurrying around. There's one right there. It's probably, I mean, there's two in here. There's another one somewhere. But yeah, it's basically a castle theme, maybe a little bit more dungeonous, but with a mixture of the forest. It's pretty specific. But yeah, also you'll notice I forgot to mention, but yeah, we have like some faint windows going along the backside here. We head back this way. Yeah, you can see that from like the perspective of a guest. You get like just sneaky glimpses at the skunks. And then we go check over here. Yeah, you just imagine imagine this like a real nocturnal house, sorry, crepuscular house. You walk up, you're a guest, and you just see a skunk sleeping right there at the corner. Oh, that'd be so cool. But yeah, it's just supposed to give you some teasing looks, although it gives you a pretty good look. I don't know why I said it was a tease. It's like you can see most of the exhibit. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And here we are again at the front of the exhibit. And so yeah, to kind of put my finger best on the theme here, it's basically just the regular Twilight pack theming, just incorporated into one exhibit. But if you want to like say it's something specifically, it's, as I said, it's like a castle in the forest, and you're right outside the castle. That's what I envision. But it looks pretty cool. You got, you know, the flames and the gargoyles, and it's very clearly the Twilight pack, just at its basic. And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. It's very simple, but it's fun to look at. That was kind of my goal with the whole project, is that it's fun, but it's simple, but it's fun, and that to me is enjoyable enough. And of course, you get another glimpse at the skunk. But yeah, really cool exhibit. And as we make our way out, I've decided I'm going to keep it Twilight themed, because, you know, very fitting. And we have a little outdoor area here that kind of leads you into the next big exhibit. Now, before we go in, I mean, no surprise, they're bats, but what exactly is the theme of the bat exhibit? Because as we've seen, every exhibit in this building has some sort of a theme to it. You know, the wombats was basically the Australian sunset, the raccoon exhibit was basically, well, spooky forest, and the skunks are basically a castle in the forest, or just more like a dungeon theme. Well, what about the bats? Well, I was kind of in the middle about a number of different themes. I almost did graveyards, I almost did just another forest theme, but in the end I chose to do pumpkins. I did pumpkins, yeah. Specifically, farming pumpkins. Pumpkins are definitely one of the biggest things I think of when I think of like fall time, and ultimately this is like the most fall time pack that they've ever done, and so I had to do pumpkins. Pumpkins are just very fitting. Using some of the materials from the conservation pack too, which I think just is kind of funny because of course that was the other big scenery pack this year. But yeah, basically we have a pumpkin themed bat exhibit, pumpkin patch, pumpkin gardening, whatever you want to call it. It's just pumpkin themed, and it's pretty cool. And of course we have the awesome new bats flying around. Man, do I love them. Like seriously, I was already a big fan of the bats when I first saw them in the game, but they've quickly become one of my favorite animals, period, which is kind of crazy to say about an exhibit animal of all things. But yeah, the bats are awesome. Like seriously, if you've not gotten this pack yet, what are you doing? Get it for the bats. Like, people, you're gonna want to have this in your zoo, trust me. The bats are awesome. I love how they interact with their exhibit. It's pretty cool, and of course the pumpkins here just complement all of that. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And the actual structure itself I like too. It's like, to me, I call it the bat greenhouse, because it's kind of what it is. And yeah, so of course with it being a greenhouse, that's where I got the idea of pumpkins. You grow stuff in greenhouses, so in this case you're growing pumpkins. And yeah, and for some reason I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna put the scarecrow in here. That could be kind of cool, and I did. That I did. Yeah, that is my bat greenhouse and the final part of this major project, so let's go ahead and head on out. And that is it, everyone. That is my tour of the new Crepuscular animal house. I hope you guys enjoyed this project just as much as I had fun building it. It's a very fun, simple, playful project, and I hope it does a good job representing the new Twilight pack. But yeah, other than all that, I want to go ahead and say thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Goodbye.